The real estate agent was measuring my living room when I came home from work on Thursday evening. My sister Olivia stood beside him, gesturing enthusiastically at the crown molding and original hardwood floors. "What's going on?" I asked from the doorway. Olivia turned, her expression shifting from excited to defensive. "Sophie, could you here? We need to discuss the sale." "What sale?" "The house sale," she said as if I were being deliberately obtuse. "Mark is giving us a comparative market analysis. He thinks we can list at $1.2 million and get multiple offers within a week." I set down my laptop bag slowly. "Olivia, why is a real estate agent evaluating my house?" "Our house," she corrected sharply. "The family trust property. I've decided it's time to sell and split the proceeds. You've had your fun living here, but it's not fair that you get to enjoy all this space while I'm stuck in a 2-bedroom apartment." The real estate agent, Mark, looked between us uncomfortably. "Should I step outside?" "No," Olivia said. "Sophie needs to hear this. We're selling. I've already consulted with a lawyer, and as beneficiaries of the family trust, we both have equal say. I say we sell." I looked at my younger sister who'd shown up unannounced with a real estate agent, ready to sell the house I'd been living in for 6 years. The house our grandmother had left in trust when she died 7 years ago. "Olivia, this house isn't part of a family trust," I said quietly. "Yes, it is. Grandma Eleanor's trust. I remember the lawyer talking about it at the funeral. The house, the investments, everything went into a trust for both of us." "Some things went into a trust," I corrected. "This house didn't." She laughed, but it sounded forced. "Nice try. I know how inheritance works. Grandma left everything to both of us equally. That means this house is half mine and I want my share." Mark cleared his throat. "Ladies, if there's confusion about ownership, I really shouldn't proceed until that's clarified. Sophie, are you listed as the sole owner on the deed?" "Yes," I said. "She's lying," Olivia snapped. "She's been living here for free while I struggle with rent, and now she wants to keep everything for herself. It's not happening." I pulled out my phone and opened my documents folder. "Mark, I can email you the property deed if you'd like to verify ownership before continuing." "That would be helpful, actually." "Don't you dare," Olivia said. "Mark, ignore her. I have just as much right to this property as she does. Our grandmother's will left the house to me," I interrupted. "Specifically, by name. The trust fund was separate." Olivia's face flushed red. "That's not true. I was at the reading of the will. I heard what the lawyer said." "You heard part of what the lawyer said," I corrected gently. "You left after 15 minutes because you said it was too depressing. The lawyer covered the property details after you'd gone." "I would have been told if the house went only to you." "You were told," I said. "I emailed you the complete estate summary. You never responded." She pulled out her phone and scrolled frantically through old emails. I watched her face change as she found the message from 6 years ago, the detailed breakdown of Grandma Eleanor's estate that I'd sent per the lawyer's instructions. "This says," she read slowly, "the house at 847 Riverside Drive goes to Sophie Bennett. The trust fund of $400,000 to be divided equally between Sophie Bennett and Olivia Bennett." She looked up at me. "Why would Grandma do that?" "Because I lived with her for 3 years while you were in California," I said. "I took care of her when she got sick. I managed her medical appointments, her medications, her finances. You visited twice in those 3 years. I was building my career." "I know. And Grandma understood that. That's why she left you $200,000 cash, to help you build your life. She left me the house because I'd already built my life here taking care of her." Mark closed his folder. "I'm going to step outside. Call me if you need an actual listing, Sophie." He left quickly, clearly wanting no part of the family drama. After he left, Olivia sank onto my sofa. "I got $200,000? "Yes. 6 years ago. The trust administrator sent you a check." "I thought that was my half of Grandma's savings," she said slowly. "I spent it on my condo down payment, my car, some investments. I thought the house was separate, that we'd split it later." "The house was never part of the trust," I said. "Grandma added my name to the deed 3 years before she died. When she passed, it automatically became fully mine. There was nothing to split." Olivia's hands were shaking. But I've been planning. I need money, Sophie. My condo has issues, my car lease is up, and I've been counting on my share of this house to solve everything. What happened to the $200,000? I asked. I told you, condo car investments. The investments? She looked away. Some worked out. Some didn't. I might have made some mistakes with a crypto thing and there was a business opportunity that fell through. How much do you have left? That's not the point, she snapped, anger replacing vulnerability. The point is that this house should be split fairly. I don't care what some old deed says. Grandma would have wanted us to share equally. Grandma wanted you to have financial security through cash, I said. She wanted me to have housing security through the house. She made her intentions very clear. It's not fair, Olivia said. You got a $1.2 million house. I got $200,000. That's not equal. You got liquid assets to build your life, I countered. I got a house with property taxes, maintenance costs, and the responsibility of caring for Grandma until she died. We got what we needed, not what's numerically equal. Olivia stood up, her expression hardening. I'm contesting this. I'll hire a lawyer and fight the estate distribution. There's no way Grandma meant for you to get 6 times more than me. The estate was settled 6 years ago, I said. You signed documents acknowledging the distribution. You accepted your inheritance without objection. Because I didn't understand, she shouted. I was grieving. I wasn't thinking clearly. You were 26 years old, I said quietly. Not a child. And you had 6 years to raise objections. You're only doing it now because you've run through your inheritance and want more. You don't deserve to live here, she hissed. You trapped Grandma into leaving you everything by playing the devoted caretaker. You manipulated her. I loved her, I said, my voice breaking slightly. I put my life on hold for 3 years to make sure she wasn't alone, wasn't scared, wasn't in pain. You sent birthday cards and called on holidays. We weren't the same, Olivia. Grandma knew that. She grabbed her purse and headed for the door. You'll hear from my lawyer. I'm not letting you steal my inheritance. After she left, I called the trust attorney Richard Morrison who'd handled Grandma Eleanor's estate. Mr. Morrison, my sister is threatening to contest the estate distribution. 6 years after the fact. On what grounds? He asked. She claims she didn't understand the terms and that the distribution was unfair. She signed all acknowledgement paperwork, he said. She cashed her trust fund check. She had legal representation available if she wanted it. We offered it to both of you. Unless she can prove fraud or undue influence, she has no case. The statute of limitations for contesting the estate expired years ago. She's claiming I manipulated Grandma. Can she prove it? No, because it didn't happen. Then she'll waste money on legal fees and get nowhere, he said. Let me know if she actually files something. I'll handle it. Monday morning, I received a certified letter from Olivia's attorney, demanding I agree to sell the house and split proceeds equally or face litigation for fraudulent estate distribution. I forwarded it to Richard Morrison. He called me an hour later. This attorney is either incompetent or took Olivia's money knowing he has no case. I've drafted a response explaining that the estate was properly settled, all distributions were lawful, and any continued harassment will result in a countersuit for legal costs. Will that stop her? If her attorney has any sense, yes. If not, we'll end up in court where a judge will dismiss her claim in about 10 minutes. Tuesday afternoon, Olivia showed up at my house again, this time with our cousin Jason. Jason's a paralegal, she announced. He's reviewed everything and agrees I have a case. Jason looked uncomfortable. I said you could maybe argue for a larger share if... Tell her, Olivia demanded. If there was evidence of undue influence or if Sophie had prevented you from understanding the estate terms, Jason finished. But Olivia, from what you've shown me, the distribution was legal and you accepted it without objection for 6 years. That's going to be really hard to overcome. See, I said to Olivia. Even Jason says you don't have a case. I said it's hard, not impossible, Jason clarified, though his tone suggested he thought it was pretty close to impossible. Olivia pulled out her phone and showed me a document. I found this. Grandma's handwritten notes from 2 years before she died. It says, want both girls taken care of equally. That proves she intended equal distribution. May I see that? I asked. She handed me her phone. The note was in Grandma's handwriting, dated 8 years ago. Estate planning, want both girls taken care of equally. Sophie with housing security, Olivia with financial flexibility. Different needs, equal care. This actually supports the distribution we got, I said, showing Jason. She wrote that she wanted us taken care of equally by giving us what we each needed. Me housing, you financial flexibility. Jason read it and nodded. Olivia, this doesn't help your case. It shows she thought about it carefully and made intentional choices. Olivia snatched her phone back. You're both against me. Fine. My lawyer says we can win. Your lawyer is taking your money, Jason said bluntly. Olivia, as your cousin and someone who actually studied law, I'm telling you to drop this. You'll spend thousands on legal fees and lose. I'm not dropping it, she shouted. This house is worth over $1 million. Sophie got everything and I got scraps. You got $200,000, I said. That's not scraps. That's more than most people inherit ever. You chose to spend it poorly. How dare you? You bought a condo you couldn't afford, a luxury car, and made risky investments, I said. Those were your choices. Now you want to undo a legal estate settlement because you have buyer's remorse about your own financial decisions. I want what's fair. You got what Grandma thought was fair, I said firmly. She gave you liquid assets to build your life. She gave me the house where I'd built my life caring for her. If you'd invested that $200,000 wisely, you'd be financially secure right now. Your poor choices don't entitle you to my inheritance. Jason stood. I'm leaving. Olivia, call me when you're ready to be reasonable. He left, shaking his head. Olivia glared at me. This isn't over. Yes, it is, I said. Your lawyer will file a motion. Richard Morrison will respond with documentation proving the estate was properly settled. A judge will dismiss your claim and possibly order you to pay legal fees. You'll have wasted thousands of dollars and damaged our relationship for nothing. Our relationship was already damaged, she spat. The day you stole my inheritance. She left, slamming the door hard enough to rattle the windows. Wednesday morning, Richard Morrison called. Olivia's attorney withdrew from the case. What? He reviewed the estate documents I sent over and realized he has no case. He sent a professional courtesy email saying he'd advised his client to drop the matter. She apparently fired him and said she'd represent herself. Can she do that? She can try, Richard said. But self-representation in estate litigation is professional suicide. No judge will take her seriously without legal counsel, especially when the opposing side has documentation, expert testimony, and 6 years of settled precedent. Thursday, Olivia filed a handwritten motion with the probate court, demanding the estate be reopened and redistributed fairly. Richard filed a response so comprehensive and legally airtight that the judge scheduled a hearing for the following Monday just to dismiss it officially. At the hearing, Olivia stood before Judge Andrea Martinez with printed emails, her copy of Grandma's handwritten note, and a rambling explanation about fairness. Judge Martinez let her speak for 5 minutes before interrupting. Ms. Bennett, do you have legal representation? I'm representing myself, Olivia said. I see. And you're seeking to reopen an estate that was settled 6 years ago, which you accepted without objection at the time. I didn't understand the terms. You were 26 years old, college-educated, and had access to legal counsel. Mr. Morrison, representing the estate, can you confirm that Ms. Olivia Bennett was offered legal representation? Richard stood. Yes, Your Honor. Both beneficiaries were offered independent legal counsel at estate expense. Both declined. And Ms. Olivia Bennett signed acknowledgement of her inheritance distribution? Yes, Your Honor. She signed 4 separate documents confirming receipt of $200,000 from the trust fund and acknowledging she had no claim to the real property. Judge Martinez looked at Olivia. Ms. Bennett, unless you can provide evidence of fraud, undue influence, or mental incompetence at the time you accepted your inheritance, this court will not reopen a settled estate because you've reconsidered 6 years later. But it's not fair. Olivia protested. Fairness is subjective, Judge Martinez said. Legal distribution is not. The estate was distributed according to the decedent's clear wishes, properly documented and legally executed. Your motion is denied. Furthermore, You're ordered to pay the estate's legal fees for defending against this frivolous claim. That's $8,400. Olivia went pale. I don't have that kind of money. Then you shouldn't have filed a frivolous lawsuit, Judge Martinez said. Court adjourned. Olivia didn't speak to me for 3 months. When she finally called, her voice was small. I can't pay the legal fees, she said. Richard Morrison is threatening to garnish my wages. He's doing his job, I said. Can you help me? Can I pay your legal fees for suing me over an inheritance you weren't entitled to? I asked. No, Olivia. I can't. I'm your sister. You told me I didn't deserve to live in my own house, I said quietly. You tried to sell my home out from under me. You accused me of manipulating Grandma. You're my sister, but you treated me like an obstacle to money you wanted. He was crying now. I'm sorry. I was desperate and stupid. I shouldn't have listened to people who told me I deserved more. You deserved what Grandma gave you, I said. You just didn't appreciate it. I know that now, she whispered. Everything's falling apart. The legal fees, my condo's in foreclosure, I'm drowning. I closed my eyes. I'll loan you $10,000. Not a gift. A loan. You'll sign a promissory note and pay me back at $500 a month. That should stop the garnishment and give you breathing room. Thank you, she sobbed. Thank you, Sophie. This is the last time I rescue you from your own choices, I said. After this, you're on your own. She agreed. We signed paperwork. She's been paying me back, though sometimes she's late. We don't have family dinners anymore. We don't text about nothing. But we're civil. Polite. Distant. My house remains mine. Legally, rightfully, permanently. The trust lawyer arrived and confirmed what I already knew. Her inheritance claims got rejected Monday. And everything Grandma Eleanor intended stayed exactly as she'd planned.